This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Yes, you read it correct. Yes, when the title popped up, you probably said, what the heck is this all about? Well, today we are looking at 5 games that are the reason why I don't do Kickstarter. Okay? The title is exactly the reason, the whole thing. There are 5 games that I took a look at and why I'll never back a Kickstarter. Now, to be fair, I did another video of 5 games that would possibly make me to get a Kickstarter. So I wanted to be fair and balanced. This isn't a big dump on Kickstarter, but this is showing you some of the dangers and some of the, the risk and reward of doing Kickstarter. Some of the most worst moments and some of the greatest moments of all time, in my eyes at least. So, without further ado, why don't we start talking about the things that cause me never to do a Kickstarter. Let's start off with number 5. Well, this is a game that, honestly, I found a little shining light at the end of the tunnel. And this game, I actually got a lot of people to purchase just for the minis so we can practice on them, because the game is just garbage. But the minis were kind of varied and everything, and people can do a lot of different techniques on them. And that's Moogle Invaders. This game was looking to fund for $40,000. It made $91,876. Now, unlike some of the other games on this list, Mike Wallace is a great designer, a fantastic designer. He's made some fantastic games. This one it was poor quality, poor execution, poor everything across the board. And people were very, very disappointed with it. There were some people that liked it, basically in fandom of Mike Wallace, who, let me just reassure you, is a great designer. This one, everybody makes a stinker. Everybody trips. Everybody falls. Everybody fails at something. This was just not good. And this one made my list at number 5. The hype and everything behind it, you were so excited, and then when it came, you went, ooh, ouch. That's how I feel about Moogle Invaders. At number 4, a game that was looking for funding for $7,000 instead funded for $20,271. It is a card game called Shadow Days. Okay, this game here shows you some of the dangers, because people are still trying to find this guy. He took off, beautiful art. The one thing that he said about this game and went in there, that this was D&D on speed, and if you were a fan of Magic the card game, you were going to love it. And you looked at the art and it was absolutely drop dead. This was about as bad a game as you can ever have. And a matter of fact, I think on BGG it was one of those games that was probably in the 3s, 3 point something or another. It was that bad. Funded for $20,000, and wow, just a bad situation with that one. At number 3 on our list is a game that, first of all, a lot of you are fans of movies and IPs. So when you have a game that is coming out of an IP and your heart is into a cult movie as much as this was, the worst that can happen is that the art is really bad. I mean that you just have a bunch of whatever with art from the movie. How bad can it be? Well, this game funded, they wanted $5,000. It funded with $13,243. And that's The Princess Bride Prepared to Die from Game Salute. This was a complete train wreck. People hated the game. The game was broken from the outset, and people were just so disgusted over the whole thing. They were upset with Game Salute. They just, some of them swore them off forever. And this was just a very, very bad game. Now, none of these games so far have really make you want to not do a Kickstarter. It's just, sometimes when a company comes out with a game, you can find out what people think and see the game before you buy it. Kickstarter, you've got to put the money down, and you don't know what you're going to get. And that's what happened with these first three. But the next two are where the ugliness comes in. Now, I've talked about this game recently, and this game baffles me to the point that I put a call into the publisher, and I'm trying to get an interview to give their side of the story. We've talked about this game as far as one of the games that I anticipated and was very disappointed when it came out. And this game, it was looking for funding for $70,000 worth of funding, but funded, and wait till you hear this number, $1,442. $1,400,042, $312. Okay? Funded. They were looking for $70,000. And the number 2 game is Robotech. Now, we've talked about this. I've talked about it extensively. But let's go a little further here. Okay? Paladin Books still has not fulfilled the Wave 2 to the Kickstarters. Okay? You were looking for $70,000. Okay? Even if you only made half of this, $500,000. Okay? You think after all these years that Wave 2 at least came out and you would have taken care of the people that have backed this full throttle. They've never lived up to any of the other expansions that they've come out with. They made almost $1.5 million. Okay? And they put out a game like that was overcomplicated to put together, was not very good, which I can understand, because you can fix it. If you put out a good enough product and you put out everything for it, anything could be fixed. The fans say, hey, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. You can make a revision. But you want to know what you hear from Paladin Books? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm not afraid to say here and stand here that I'm going to do everything I can to contact, and I'm going to try to make a video and try to find out what went wrong. Let's give them a chance and find out what went wrong, because this is disgraceful when you make that kind of money and you don't follow through. $1.5 million of your hard-earned dollars, and you wonder why I don't back Kickstarters. Not to mention that it was late. I give everybody a benefit on both these lists for being late. The number 1 game is something that people have covered extensively, but let's talk a little bit about this. Okay, they wanted $35,000 to fund the game. They made $122,874, so almost $125,000, almost, that's a lot. And the minute you get into 3 digits, that's a lot of money. So they more than doubled, of course, almost tripled they did triple what they wanted. Okay, but you can't find this guy. As a matter of fact, if anything, this guy should be walking around with a little sign with a whole bunch of numbers on it right next to him, and taking a picture and doing one of these, and one of these. And that's the guy who did Doom that came to Atlantic City. Nobody can find him. A ton of excuses. People upset. Another publisher had to step in just to try to make things right. The thing was, you mentioned Cthulhu, people are going to come out of the woodwork because they love games that are Cthulhu-based games. People put their trust, their funding, their hard-earned cash. Listen, a lot of you out there lace up your shoes like I do. One at a time. You'll work hard for your money, and to just take your money and basically just rip it in half in front of yourself. That's basically what you did with this snow job. Okay? And it's disgusting to see what happened. I admire the people that tried to fix this and take it over. And, you know, if you read about this, it really makes Kickstarter scary, especially for board games, because you're putting your faith in somebody that you just don't know if this is going to fund. I always hear the thing, well, you know, it's kind of like gambling. You know, you got to put up money that you want to throw away. Well, you know something, when you go out there and you promote something and you say, hey, I've got this idea and this is going to be, you are inciting excitement amongst the people. Okay, because they think that they're going to put out their hard-earned money, okay, and money's hard to come by, okay. We're all not rich and famous like certain people. A lot of us work hard, and you guys work hard, and you put in your time. So expect when you put your money into a Kickstarter that eventually you can wait. They could promise you November, and then maybe a year later it'll come out, but you'll at least get something. Okay, this guy had no intention of doing that. Okay, and it went badly, and this is one of the reasons why I would never fund a Kickstarter. So, just to read the list again: Moogle Invaders, just a bad game. Shadow Days, shady and shadow. The Princess Bride, a broken IP. Robotech, scratch your head on this one. Ton of money, not much. You came out with a box set and a couple of small expansions. I guess you fulfilled nothing really, because you put it out and you let everything die, and that's the shame of it. Because when you have an IP like that and you put your trust and you go out and you tell the people, hey, look at this on this page, all these things, you make it happen, and it doesn't happen. It hurts a lot of people. It really does. On top of being the fact that it was a pretty bad game to begin with. And then at number one, the doom that came to Atlantic City. Oh, there was doom, all right, but it was doom to the consumer. So there you go. That's my list. You may not agree. There may be other games out there that you think were better that should be on this list. Maybe this list should have been bigger, I know, but I wanted to keep it to 5. I'll tell you what, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Put it in the bottom. Let me know the things that you think. I'm anxious to see what you think, and I hope you found this very interesting. Now make sure you watch the other video where we say some nice things about Kickstarter too. Until next time, I'm Rob Orn. We'll see you soon.